Hello, everyone. This is GL1, and it's nice to be back as a human being again. Not a Zord, not miniaturized, just regular old me. Nice to be back. And today, what I want to talk to you about is where to buy toys. Now, uh, if I was in my current form a month ago, would have been even better to talk about it then. But here I am. I'm going to tell you where you can shop and what you can expect, some things you can find. It's a lot of information, and I'm going to try to remember to go through everything I can. I wrote down notes and, and try to memorize what I could. Hopefully, it's just all top of my head because, as you can imagine, I've shopped a lot for toys. And this shopping information I'm going to give you is not just for the holidays. It's actually good year round. So if you're a collector or looking for birthday presents or whatever, this guide will help you. Okay. So first thing I did is I broke it down into categories of stores. So the first category is a big box. And as you can imagine, big box stores, we've got Target, Walmart, and now Macy's and Kohl's. So if you're not familiar with the term big box, it means just a big box, a store that's a big box. Now, here's what I can tell you about Target. Target gets toys first most of the time. If you're looking for the newest toy, a category like Jurassic Park, they're usually going to have it first, and they have more exclusives than anyone else. And I could tell you today, I was walking through Target, and there are 5 new Jurassic World dinosaurs available. 3 are like Tyrannosaurus type, okay? And then 1 is Ceratopsid. You have 3 theropods and like a Triceratops type, okay, which will be in a show featured, so I'm not going to tell you which one it is, but I have a lot of ceratopsids, and I'm going to do a whole show on that. They also have a repaint and rehash of the Indoraptor. So anyway, that's not anywhere else that I've seen, so right at Target. The other thing, Target is usually pretty well stocked on most of the categories, and they're very aggressive on their pricing, especially if you go to their online store. They have very good sales right now. If you're into, sometimes Jurassic Park, they have great sales. The LOL dolls, incredible sales, like buy 2, get 1 free, and the 2 that you buy are already discounted like 30% or 50%. So that may not be a current sale, but they have sales like that. They have a lot of Rainbow High that are on sale. They usually are very well stocked in Hot Wheels and Matchbox cars. They also have a good line of radio-controlled vehicles. They have flying ones and just trucks and cars and things like that. So Target is a great choice. They have a good Lego aisle too, and they have Mega Constructs as well in games. You've been to Target, you've seen it. But the point is that they're well stocked and they're aggressive about it, and they also hold sales. Walmart has been really not been doing well for the past 3 or 4 years. Their toy section, sometimes, they have, the stock. The prices are definitely not better than Target. They're okay. They don't really have sales. Sometimes they have a clearance and it's good, but they don't have clearance that often either. Also, Walmarts differ from one to the other. So what you're going to find and what may be on clearance too. Prices even differ in different regions. Probably on everywhere, but I see it definitely even locally in my Walmarts. Walmart stock, it's not a matter of everybody shopping there and so they're low on stock. They have been poorly stocked in toys for a few years now. Very disappointing. And if you go on their online, you really have to be careful because they will sometimes charge twice as much as what something is in the store. Though I do shop Walmart, I don't count on them as a toy store anymore. Macy's. Okay, so Macy's, Macy's has toys year round, and they have name brands, and they're usually like older stock that is moved out, and then they discount it like 50%. But they also have a section of toys. They usually have quite a few radio control cars and dolls and just odd toys that robots and army sets and things you won't see anywhere else, or at least not in your regular stores. And they have that. Okay, they have that section of the store where they have their own old toys, discounted toys. And now, as you may know, they've opened up Toys R Us inside the Macy's store. And I've been to it a few times, and I was really looking forward to it because when Toys R Us went out of business in 2018, for a toy collector, it was really sad and a little traumatic. You grow up, and when I was growing up, you didn't get to go to Toys R Us very often. In fact, there weren't that many. And they were usually far away, and I got to go twice a year. But then I moved somewhere where it was close, and I got to go to Toys R Us a few times a week, if just sometimes to walk around. And I just love the energy. I love the colors. I love the idea of just a big store with toys everywhere. And Toys R Us also would give chances to toy companies that weren't able to market in a big store, like a small toy company, and they had a great idea, and Toys R Us would allow them to put it in the store, and sometimes would even give them money if they believed in the product to create it. So Toys R Us was really a big help to a lot of small toy companies, and they would bring things over from Japan or from other places that just to try out, just to see how it would sell. And oftentimes it didn't do well, but Toys R Us did it anyway. Because they believed in toys. So what it is in Macy's, again, it's small, sure, but it's organized, it's clean, it's not overpriced, and I could tell you, for example, the top of the line Star Wars action figures, like 6-inch figures, are $2 or $3 cheaper than anywhere else, and they so far have a lot of sales on their toys, very competitive. So I'm very happy with the Toys R Us and Macy's, so I definitely encourage you to check it out. Kohl's, surprisingly large toy section. They have toys year round. You may not know that, but they do. But they have a lot of toys now, and sometimes they have toys that are hard to find anywhere else. The Ladybug toys, they were the first ones that I saw anywhere to have the full line of new Ladybug toys. Just as an example, they usually have great stock of Barbies, Rainbow High, ridiculously good stock on Legos, just sort of disorganized and messy, but well stocked. Pricing there, they have these little digital screens, and it's annoying to try to figure out the digital screen and what the discount is. Sometimes the products have a price on them, sometimes they don't. But I do like going by Kohl's. They do have a price checker usually close to the toy area, so you can always go do that. The nice thing about going to a Macy's or a Kohl's is you get to see the new toys, and you also get to see what didn't sell. And even if it's not discounted, it's going to be hard to find maybe. It might be a year old or something and you can't find it anywhere else. And if you try to get it online, actually, they bump up the price online because you can't get it anywhere else, and you might be able to get it at Kohl's or Macy's for the original price. So that's a thing about that. All right, bargain stores. Now, I have gotten tremendous toy buys at these stores over the years. The last 2-3 years, not so good. But in the past, Ross, fantastic. I would get stuff from Ross like $150, $200 Transformers for $35. I mean, just ridiculous, great, finds. Haven't found anything like that this year. Found, I think, one thing, a Megatron, Studio Megatron last year. I think it was $150, and I got it for, like, I think it was like $30, $29. And I think the year before that, I got year of it was a Gorilla. It was an Optimus. It was a year of, I don't think there's a year of the Gorilla, but anyway, it was a Gorilla Optimus, and it was like red and blue. It was Chinese. They were doing Transformers used to do like a Chinese calendar, and then they would take like one of their figures, and then they would model it after that Chinese calendar figure. Like if they found like a dragon, they would have a dragon transformer or something. But anyway, so Ross, this year Ross, last year was okay. Years before that were great. This year is even worse. And I could tell you, I think the reason why, in general, the bargain stores don't have a lot in them and a good stock is because toys weren't selling throughout the year, and stock was tough to get. With everything that's been going on in the world economy, so you didn't have like Target and Walmart getting a whole lot of overstock, and then it's spilling over into Ross, Marshalls, TJ Maxx, Home Goods, or Burlington. Okay, Burlington. I think it used to be called Burlington Coat Factory, and now they just want to be called Burlington. But all those stores, Marshalls, TJ Maxx, Home Goods, Burlington, Ross, are great bargain stores historically. In the past, they've had great bargains. Now, I stopped into a Burlington, and I was shocked because not long ago I went there, and they didn't have hardly anything as far as new toys, but now they do. My local Burlington is great. Had a great collection of toys, and I got this figure. All right, The Thing from Marvel, and this is normally a $25 figure, and came with extra hands that are like that, and an extra head, and this was $7.99, okay, instead of like $25, and I was never going to get it because I already have a few things, and I was like, I don't need another, but for $8, why not? And Brock Lesnar. So they had an elite version of Brock Lesnar. This is going, I saw this on Amazon just the other night for $30. And over there at Burlington Coat Factory, $11.99. New box, everything. Came with extra hands, came with the set of stairs for him to throw. So, it's a great figure. You can get a great bargain. Marshalls this year, okay, a lot of off-brandish kind of toys, not a lot of brand toys discounted. So sometimes there's like these off-brand toys like radio control cars that are, let's say, like B quality, or dolls that are B quality, not like Barbie or Rainbow High or LOL, not like an expensive doll that's marked down, but more like a doll that's just a step above something you might get at a dollar store and packaged really nicely, like a $5 doll, something like that. Home Goods in this year, nothing really, not hardly worth going into unless you luck out. However, in the past, Home Goods has had fantastic deals on radio control cars, all kinds of really, odd RC cars that you didn't see anywhere else, and marked down like 50%. They had a lot of like construction toys and Fresh dolls. They had that, and there were two male Fresh dolls that were really hard to find, and the only time I ever saw them was at Home Goods last year, and they were a bit expensive. They were $30, And I was waiting. I'm like, it'll probably get marked down to 20. And then as it got closer and closer to the holidays, I said, you know what? I'm going to buy one because just my luck, it'll sell out and I'll never see them again. And I'm glad I did because I've never seen them again. So I got at least one of those guys, and he'll be in a show. He's really cool. So TJ Maxx, again, in the past, and actually not bad this year, but in the past, surprisingly good. TJ Maxx and Marshalls are owned by the same parent company, so oftentimes they would have the same stock. And so if there was something that was, they bought a lot, like a bunch of them, okay, and they didn't have a lot of stock that was at Marshalls, it might be a TJ Maxx because TJ Maxx, though having the same stock, I think wasn't thought of in people's minds like, oh, let me go look for toys there. So toy hunters, they know to go check these places out. But in the past, I don't think they did. I think I've known it longer than a lot of people because I know like 15 years ago, I was going there. And some of the deals that I got on Iron Man action figures and Transformers, ridiculously good. So, and stuff that was never in the stores, I think only was online and went right to, either Ross or TJ Maxx or something like that. All right. Stores that are a surprise. Best Buy. Best Buy has like 3 aisles of toys, and sometimes they have toys that are difficult to find, and sometimes they're also on sale, lower than anywhere else. The difficult to find aspect, though, is I think more important. And in fact, last weekend I found a ceratopsid dinosaur that I didn't see anywhere else. So of course I picked that guy up. So there's Lego sets and Star Wars and McFarlane action figures, like Batman type figures and stuff. Again, I would stop by Best Buy if you're toy shopping. This year, not as good as last year or the year before, but it's still worth stopping in. GameStop. If you're into action figures, I'm not into games, but if you're into action figures and things, GameStop is fantastic, often. And they do have stuff that goes on clearance. So if you're into McFarlane toys, for sure, they almost always get all the line of McFarlane Batman type toy, DC Comics toys, I should say. And sometimes they get them faster than what you can get online. So that's nice. They also have good clearances, sometimes 50%. Sometimes they have something that's already been discounted and you get 50% off of that. And if you join their annual club thing, I think it's $15, you get $5 off every month on something. So I've gotten stuff for nothing. It'd be like a $10 toy marked down, 50%, and then I got $5 and I get it for nothing. So that happened with a little Optimus Prime. I can remember that one. Big Lots. Big Lots, has toys year round. And again, sometimes it's a surprise. You don't know what you're going to get. They do have their off-brand toys, but sometimes they have their on-brand toys. The thing about Big Lots is they will get in toys that are new. Sometimes, like WWE comes to mind. Like they'll get wrestlers, the new batch of wrestler action figures that are out. They won't sell all of them. And then throughout the year, you can, they might not be anywhere else, but Big Lots will have them. And even during the holidays, some of the things that didn't sell and you can't find them anywhere else, or they might cost too much online, you can stop in at Big Lots and get them. So I would stop in Big Lots too. It's a lot of stopping in, right? A lot of shopping around. But, why not, right? That's what Saturdays are for. Dollar General. All right, Dollar General, you have, sure you have your cheapy dolls and stuff, but Hot Wheels cars, Matchbox cars, Maisto cars, off-brand type of little cars, and Hot Wheel track pieces. I don't know if they're going to always have that, but they've had it for a while. You can get, your sections of track, your loops, and sometimes even like the rubber band accelerator. You put the car in and bing. Turns. Those things are really hard to get, like you're going to spend a lot of money to buy a set just to get those, like a prepackaged set that has like, like a dinosaur going after the cars or whatever, and you're going to spend like $30 on that, when really all you want is track and loops or turn. And the thing about Hot Wheels is they sell these really elaborate sets, right? The Hot Wheels garage, and it jumps over, a shark, and it jumps up, gets a car. They're very expensive, like sometimes $145. They don't get played with long. They take up a lot of space, and often, honestly, they don't work that well. The vibration of the plastic, sometimes it just doesn't. The car falls off the track or doesn't stay on. The funnest thing about Hot Wheels cars, well, there's two or three funnest things. One is making your own track and doing all kinds of jumps and stuff like, taping it up to a table and having a loop and then jump, right? Finding out which car can go through the loop, make it all the way around, and racing them. So if you have two sets of tracks and, you want to see which car is faster, that's what, is great about it. So that's a great thing that, you can get from Dollar General. You can get those pieces of track. They also have dollhouse pieces now, like little chairs and sofas and things like that. So they're Barbie sized. So that's pretty cool. So even if you don't, their dolls are the really cheapy dolls, but you can use these Barbie sets, like let's say, you find somebody's throwing away one of those Barbie dollhouses on the side of the road, which I got like a $300 one. Someone's just throwing it out. And I'm imagining someone was like, dang it, this thing's taking up too much room and you never play with it. It's going in the trash. And I'm like, well, all right, I'm going to get it. It didn't come with furniture. So I have a lot of Barbies, so I can get some furniture and just, put them. It's a display. It's a way to just get the Barbies off of the shelf and put them on, their own little display. And I got it for nothing, So the Dollar General for that. And, well, they have a lot of crafts and things too, right? And they have games and puzzles and things. But check this out. So Dollar General has actually like an online cartoon, and they started this toy line called Final Faction. Okay, so it's figures and it's accessories and more accessories. This is like a mech suit, and they have alien vehicles. Now you had to buy this in two pieces and two sets. So it was $2 at the time. Now Dollar General's $1.25. But actually it's that way. So you sit your figure in there. So here's your alien figure, all right. And then you have there's other alien figures. There's this guy, and then you have people. Let's see. Here. This is cool. All right. So here's one of the guys, right? Here's one of the humans, all right? But this again, you had to buy this in two parts, and you could put your rider in there, and then you can have people. It has little foot pegs. They can stand on the back, and it's got your, laser guns and everything, and so it rolls, and this whole box here, okay? This whole box of junk. Now I know people have done entire shows, excited toy collector guys, will go to the Dollar General and they're so excited about the new Final Faction toys have come out and everything. And look, for $1.25 or whatever for what you get, it's pretty cool. And then you can there's like a code here that you can use that code, and then you can go to the online cartoon. And I watched a little bit of it. And I could care less. I'm more into the toys than I'm ever into the story or the lore of the toys. So, what my Power Rangers, I have a fantastic Power Ranger collection, and I never watched Power Rangers. I have a really fantastic video game toy collection that you've not seen yet, and I don't play video games. But, I value cool toys. So, what I think is cool, right? So that's why I don't have everything, actually. Family Dollar. Family Dollar is not a dollar store, but It again has sometimes hard to find toys, and it's got an aisle or two of toys, and so it's pretty cool. And, if one's near you, it's worth checking out. I've bought an Optimus Prime there before that, and I saw it was there before it was anywhere else. I think it was $12.99. So there's some stuff there that's worth looking at. Online. Now, of course, everyone goes to Amazon. Right now, Amazon on stock on toys is pretty low on a lot of things that are popular right now because they're popular. But they have been low, I think, for a little bit too long. Like not just because of Black Friday or anything. So it's worth looking at some other places. eBay. eBay isn't just some guy selling stuff. There's actually stores that work with eBay. And sometimes you can get things overseas, like that Blue Flash transformer that was from overseas, and I got it like in a week and a half or so, and it's an awesome transformer. Worth checking out eBay. And again, you can on eBay sometimes you can find old stuff, but you can also find new stuff for a very reasonable price. And sometimes shipping is included, and it's it included is maybe they're working it into the price, but you just have to read carefully. Okay. Target online, again, like I think as I'd said, fantastic, the deals. Walmart online, I'm warning you, be careful, make sure you're not overpaying for it. But again, sometimes if you can't find it anywhere, you might find it on Walmart, because sometimes Walmart online does have stuff that's really hard to find and also really old. So BBTS, okay, Big Bad Toy Store. But if you Google BBTS, it'll bring you there. Newest toys, action figures for the most part. Transformers, competitive prices for what they are. Third party, like that Blue Flash, like hard to find stuff, or only online things. If you get something when it first comes out, like Metroplex, I got a great price. Now it's like $300 to get Metroplex. In fact, a lot of the robots that I got from Big Bad Toy Store, a lot of the big ones that were surrounding me on Orbob, in a couple of videos ago, those I got from Big Bad Toy Store, and at the time they were like 150 or less, and now they're all like 300 or more. That's a great thing you can get from them. The other shipping. However, the shipping flat rate is $4, but when you get things like I pre-ordered an action figure, Conan the King, it's not due out till like a year from now. Okay, and so even by then it might be another few months. So it's that far in advance. But you know what? I'm patient. What are you going to do? It's the only place that offers it. So that's the nice thing about Big Bad Toy Store is you can pre-order something and they don't charge your credit card until they process the order, until they know that the stock is coming in. And this Conan is $55, and I don't really, if I don't want to pay $55 now, that's great, because you know what, a year from now I'm definitely going to have $55. I mean, who doesn't, right? But I don't have to worry about paying for that for a year, right? So that's a nice thing about them. They don't charge you right away. So definitely check that site out for hard to find, and they have statues and all kinds of Japanese anime figures and stuff a lot of times I'm like, there's nothing really I want, and they have stuff that I didn't even know existed, and then guess what? I find something I want. Transformer Source. Expensive. They're all about Transformers. They have some stuff that isn't, but for the most part, all about Transformers. They also have a lot of reissues. So if there was a Transformer that came out a while ago, and then now they're putting it out again, they might have it. Now it's going to cost, 2.5 times as much as it originally cost. But the colors might be different, and now it costs twice as much. But it's the same toy that was, a Hasbro in Target for $30, and now it's $89 on Transformer Source. So again, what I would do is you can see if eBay has it or Big Bad Toy Store, but usually Big Bad Toy Store and Transformer Source are pretty much the same price. It's just Big Bad Toy Store has a much wider category of products to go to. But I don't want to disparage Transformer Source. I did buy an Optimus Prime that turns into an alligator from them because I didn't see that anywhere else. And it was a little pricey, but it was cool, and I just wanted to have something very unique. So, going to go through, try to go through quickly brands. All right, so we talked about Hot Wheels, we talked about Barbie. Okay, Barbie Extra, and now there's Barbie Extra Fancy. They look so cool in the package that I don't know whether it's worth even taking them out. I mean, it's just something that's really neat. They're really colorful and pretty, and just put it on the shelf and look at it. And Barbie Extra Fancy, guess what? It's extra fancy. And I have one. I waited for it to go on sale, and any others I will wait for them to go on clearance, because I predict they will be going on clearance. They just don't seem to be selling that fast, but they are really nice. So I would definitely check them out. They have the second level of articulation. They don't have the double knee joints and the double elbows that you get in some of the Barbie stuff, like the yoga Barbies, but they do have elbows and knees, and so at least that, because the Fashionista line, which I like a lot of the figures. I mean, they look nice and everything, and you get all these unique faces. They have so many different heads now, and hair, and braids and all this stuff. But they don't have. All they got is hips and shoulders, right? They don't do anything else, and their head turns. So and they used to be $7, and now they're like 10 or 11. So you got to weigh. Maybe if I spend $15 and I get one that's fully articulated, or 20 for that, it's worth it. Rainbow High, I've done pretty much a whole show on Rainbow High. I like them, really excellent articulation. And as far as where to get them, they're on sale at Target. They're on sale at sometimes at Walmart on clearance. There's some on clearance there, and some on Amazon. But I would say Target. Go to Target first. I think they have the biggest stock and the best sale on them, especially if you go online. I think they have buy one, get one half off right now. McFarlane Toys, again, that's more than just Batman. It's all the DC line. It's Fortnite. It was Dune. So really, if you find any figure that's the Fortnite come in the smaller sizes too. But if it's a 7-inch figure and it's got double elbows and knees, then it's McFarlane Toys. And Halo, I believe, is McFarlane Toys. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's McFarlane Toys too. So the Halo figures. So I like the McFarlane Toys, and they're often McFarlane down in prices too. They're often the clearance, so you can find them that way. Marvel Toys sometimes can be difficult to find. I don't think it's so much that they're selling like crazy. I think it's really the stock isn't getting to the stores. And, I've complained about this before. $25 for a 6-inch figure is too much. I think it's too much. If it's something you really want, great. But $22.99 is pushing it. But, if it's a figure I really want, okay, maybe. But really, I mean, when you can get a McFarlane toy that's bigger and has more articulation and it costs $20, and then you're looking at $25 for a Marvel toy that's smaller, why? And this was the problem that I found when Disney got control of Star Wars. Toys R Us, that was during the last year or so, a couple years of Toys R Us, and they had all these fantastic Star Wars toys, which I got a lot of them when Toys R Us was going out, and there was stuff on clearance, but they were really overpriced, like 2-3 times as much as they should have been. And when Toys R Us was putting them on clearance, that's when I got them. I wasn't going to pay as much money as they had them, $300 for a walking ad or something like that. Just too much money. But which you can see back in the beginning, one of my Star Wars episodes, I have a bunch of ad-ats in the show. Can't remember the number of the show right now, but if you go check back there towards, the early shows, probably like show 11 or 15 or something like that. Should have researched that, right? But spontaneous, I don't always know where I'm going to go with this. So anyway, but I find that when Disney took over, Marvel and Star Wars and stuff like that, the toys have been getting pricier. The Star Wars seem to have generally leveled off, but the Marvel, I think that they need to do something about that. Okay, Legos. Legos have become, generally speaking, a lot more reasonable in price. There's still places that, and sets that have gone up, like a lot of sets have gone up, maybe 10, 15%, 5% lately, but a lot of Lego sets are pretty reasonable compared to, I think, what they were a couple of years ago. So, that's something you can take a look at. And for collector value, yeah, they go up in value. But if you want to find some really nice building sets that really are the same quality, and I wonder sometimes if they're coming out of the same factory or something. Mold King. You can go on Amazon, look up construction sets. There's more than one company that makes them, but Mold King, Mould King, has some really great construction sets. And in fact, I got an RC vehicle that eventually I'm going to put together and feature on the show. It's a very extensive, complicated set, and I'm excited to own it. And not the time it's going to take to put it together is going to be a lot, but it's going to be great when I get it to you. RC cars in general. Okay. RC cars in stores are not as good as they used to be like 30 years ago, 25 years ago. Okay, they cost less in a lot of ways for what you get, and they have big cars and stuff like that. But in terms of speed, I'll tell you, in the 90s, you could go to Radio Shack and get a hobby grade RC car for $100, and the thing went 25 miles an hour, had fantastic batteries. You could swap out parts, you could modify it, swap out wheels. And I'm going to do some shows, okay, on everything about RC cars, explaining them from the bottom up. The batteries, the construction, the electronics, the remotes. That's a show I'm going to be doing for you. It's actually probably going to be 2 or 3 shows. I'm going to start all the way back at the beginning with remote control cars up through advanced RC vehicles, okay? But what you get now for RC cars, you get lithium batteries, you get, you plug the car directly into a battery pack, a charger like a phone charger, and that's nice. You don't have to go hunting around for your batteries. Everything is 2.4 gigahertz on the controller. So the controller is, it's not going to interfere with another vehicle. So if you buy 2 of them, downside, lose the controller, car is useless. Can never use another remote with that car. Back in the day, when you had the older RC vehicles, when it was 49 megahertz and 27 megahertz, which I'll explain in my show, but just know this, if you lost your remote, you could find another remote and swap it. But the 2.4 gigahertz, it's digital, and a digital locks onto a frequency, and that's the only frequency. So if you go to a secondhand store and you find an RC vehicle there and you're like, oh, great, it's $5. Well, if it doesn't have a remote with it that works, you won't have a remote that works with it. You'd have to rip out all the electronics and change the electronics, which probably costs more to do than it does to just buy a new vehicle of that. The quality, like New Bright has really been blazing the trail on making light vehicles and inexpensive and quite durable for how light and inexpensive they are. They're not slow, they're not powerful, but they're not slow. And what they've been doing, instead of putting bigger motors and bigger batteries, like that's what the Radio Shack, for example, was, big heavy vehicles, and Toys R Us had the same vehicles under their own line oftentimes. But they were heavy vehicles, and then they're like, well, we'll just put a bigger motor and we'll just put a bigger battery, and that works great. New Bright's like, we're just going to find ways to make the car lighter and lighter and lighter, and put a high torque gearing on a small motor and see what we can get out of it. And oftentimes you can get good 20 to 40 minutes of runtime. Car's fun. It's not slow. It's very durable. It's durable because it's so light that when it hits something, it can't break itself. If you have a car that goes 25 miles an hour, even if it's well made and everything, you run a 50% chance of breaking something if you're running into a wall. So you got to be a good driver, with those old Radio Shack cars. So anyway, RC Cars, Target, Walmart, online. I would say this though, sometimes they have little videos. Watch the video of the car, look at the reviews. If you want hobby grade for the money, you're going to have to probably go to Amazon or eBay, and then you'll find that there. But there's a lot of nice weird things, like they've radio controlled snakes and everything. And if you're wondering, do they work kind of cool? Yeah, they do. They move like a snake. You wonder, does the spider walk like a spider? Yeah, it's all right. It's pretty good. You want to, your dog to kind of freak out at it? I don't want to abuse dogs or anything like that. But yes, if your dog sees this big walking spider, I just will say, if it's there and it's moving, it will kind of freak out at it. So, that's the thing. There's all kind of unique drones and things like that. I have played with drones. I'm not into flying toys that much, but, there's all kinds of price options on drones, and they've really got that technology down now, so it does work really well. Okay. Jurassic Park toys, like I said, Target, always new ones coming in. I would say this, though. Dinosaurs can be very educational. I would, say you can get more enjoyment out of giving dinosaur toys with books on dinosaurs. Now, I know that the Jurassic Park toys come with a little tag you pull up now, or on some of the other ones you scan a little scan thing on the bottom of it, a symbol, and it'll go. If you download the software, you can go and you can see it'll have the dinosaur moving, and you can move it around, look at it, and it'll have some facts about it. One, it sucks up a lot of memory, so that program takes a lot of memory, and the more dinosaurs you put in, the more memory it's going to take up. It's also slow. It's kind of slow. If you had a book, and I know even Jurassic World has a book of their toys, like an educational book on dinosaurs. So you can find that. But just really lots of dinosaur books, and there's always dinosaur books, always new books. They're so colorful and educational, and you can learn a lot about dinosaurs and start, your kids can even, or you can even start to see patterns and make your own inferences about the dinosaurs and how they evolved, and like the T-Rex episode that GL2 did, that 51-minute episode on his collection, where he did a deep dive into the theories of why T-Rex has such small arms and the advantages of having small arms. So, I think that's a great way to learn a lot about biology and paleontology. But also, when I was younger, I always skipped the first part of the book that explained, the Carboniferous period and the Permian period and all the eras that dinosaurs, the Triassic, Jurassic, Cretaceous, I used to skip all that. And it took me a lot of years to grow up to realize that I shouldn't skip it. It's actually put in the right context, the most interesting part, and makes the toys much more interesting when you understand that. And if you go back again to one of my early episodes on dinosaurs, it's the picture is the dinosaur's about to bite me in the head, and I'm like, it's got the big, it's the big white, what's his name? The big white T-Rex type of thing. That's okay. That episode has in there where actually it's not Jurassic Park dinosaurs. It's those little plastic ones from the 70s. But what I did is I wanted to educate on the different periods, Permian, Jurassic, Triassic, Cretaceous, and show you which dinosaurs actually belong in each section, because Jurassic Park, not all the dinosaurs are Jurassic. So anyway, that's what I would suggest to do with dinosaurs. And I know this has been a long show, but I hope it's been very informative for you, and you can, view it year-round to find toys. So thank you very much for watching this episode, and I can't wait to get to some of the really exciting things that I have coming up. Not just my shows, but I know that there's a lot of things that are going to be happening with some of the other characters that are running around the Toy Talk universe. I got to say, I think there's going to be some crazy stuff happening, and I can't wait, for that to happen to you. So thanks very much for watching, and have a great holiday.